There we are. We got it working. It is 12:41. For those that are attending, this is the after party for my amazing book launch. I'm so excited. Yay, yay. I am just so excited to be able to launch this wonderful companion book to the original first book that I launched to this series, which is the Gwendoline Magical Mindful series that I've created. And it's a wonderful opportunity to help children have less stress and anxiety and ultimately have more fun and resilience through the day. So having said that, I'm so excited to launch this wonderful book out into the world as this additional companion, as an added resource to the one that we've already launched and has been incredibly helpful to so many children in our world. So let me tell you a little bit more about work. Oh my goodness, let's see. So put something in the chat if you happen to be watching and share where you're from, and let's see if we can blow some bubbles with you. There you go, bubbles, 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 bubbles. And I'm going to share with you the wonderful magical journey that we're going to go on for the next little while in terms of sharing Gwendoline's magical, powerful healing breath and the power of connecting with coloring to make us have a more resilient and happy life. So let's start with just going through what mindfulness is, in case people don't know what mindfulness is. A lot of us think we have an idea of what mindfulness is, but we're not quite sure in terms of what it might completely mean. Mindfulness, if you were just to kind of make it really simple, it's the simple act of taking pause in the moment and observing what's going on, both internally and externally. Whether it's good or bad, you're placing no judgment on it, and you're ultimately bringing compassion to yourself and bringing compassion to whatever's happening in the moment. And by practicing this taking pause, you're able to become more resilient. You're able to develop better focus, better calm, and just ultimately create more joy in your life overall. This is a very powerful practice when we start incorporating it into our lives. It's powerful on its own if we do it once in a while, but it's even more powerful when we continue on the practice and create discipline. So it's really, really wonderful to be able to incorporate mindfulness into our lives on a day-to-day, on a regular, make it a routine. And before you know it, it becomes part of who you are, part of your being. And when that happens, you're able to have your most resilient and happy life. So mindfulness comes in many ways. By taking pause, it's the idea of the flow, the Zen moment, if you will. And one of the ways we do that is by connecting with our powerful healing breath and by connecting with activities such as coloring. Coloring is such a wonderful way to connect with our inner selves and bring more joy into our lives. And I just am so excited to be able to share that with you. Now, this coloring book also goes a little bit further, because not only does it bring beautiful color into your world so that you're joyful and happy, but it also gives you an opportunity to reflect upon your emotions. So this book is great for children because it helps them create the foundation of mindfulness practice by coloring their stress away. It allows them to connect with their inner selves and their deep innermost emotional feelings. And ultimately, they are able to experience a way to write their emotions out on activity pages that are in this coloring book. So not only are they coloring, but they're also able to have journal prompts that help them express themselves, develop better communicational skills. Ultimately, their social emotional learning starts to be enhanced and developed and nurtured. So this coloring book is full of great opportunities for children to develop mindfulness in the most wonderful, magical of ways. So having said that, if you registered for access to the book launch today, you are going to be getting some free added bonuses for purchasing this coloring book, which is already on a great launch price. And you can actually find access to purchasing that book now, because it's officially launched out into the world, at a link that we're going to put into the chat box. So if you're looking, we're going to include that there, and you can connect with that link and purchase the book right away. And on top of that, as I mentioned, there's also going to be a registration link. So there's going to be 2 separate links that we're going to place in the box for you, so that you can access the book and then access the free bonuses that I'm going to be providing for you. One, which is a way to use the resources in the book on a more deeper, more meaningful way to help support the children in your life, whether they're your own children or the students that you're helping serve. So there's a great opportunity there to have that free lesson plan resource that I'm going to provide as an added value, my free gift to you. And on top of that, you are also going to have access to a free mini workshop that will go even deeper into how you can use these resources, as well as others, to support the children in your life. That resource is actually worth $100 US, and I'm offering it to you absolutely free, my gift to you to further support the children in your life, because mindfulness is so needed, and it's just the greatest gift for me to be able to support those that are all about helping their children, so that we can all have a better world for all. Having said that, we now have an amazing guest chiming in. I'm so excited to be able to introduce you to him. He's a wonderful, wonderful friend of mine with so many adventures. And we also have another guest coming up. So stay tuned. And we're going to discuss a little bit more on what mindfulness is all about, how we can incorporate it so that our whole families, our whole global family, can have an awesome, awesome life. Hello. Welcome.
Oh boy. Okay, so did you remind them of they've got to buy and log on to Amazon and get the discount and the special pricing and drive those numbers up? Did you do that yet?
I mentioned that we have 2 links, but no, I didn't go into why it's important right now. So that's a good point.
That is a good point.
It is a good point. So I should actually mention that. If we purchase the book right around this time, because it's book launch time, we are able to further enhance the promotion of the book into the world, so that the book can get into more hands of wonderful children, so that they can be empowered and have more tools and strategies, so that they can feel better and have less stress in their lives. So it's really a really good time right now to be able to support our global family, and with this great resource, and also be able to access, again, those great bonuses that I was just talking about as well. So really, really, really awesome time to do so.
Excellent. So yeah, and you get higher status and ranked higher. So should we begin our interview today, or
I would love to. I think that's a great idea.
Is Bemi Gale here, or is she coming?
She will be showing up in we have about 10 minutes before her time. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get started. Are you okay to do that? There's Bemi Gale. There was Bemi Gale. There she is.
Hello.
She might
So Jennifer, I'm just the MC, but you're the organizer. So who would you like me to talk to first? Should we start with Bemi Gale?
We can. I think that Bemi Gale, do you need a moment, because you came in early? You're supposed to be here at 1.
Nah, I need a moment. I was surprised.
So, yeah, we don't want to put you on the spot. We'll give you a few moments. Hello, by the way. Oh no!
Hey.
Surprise.
Yeah, and so let's get our discussion going. You amaze me, first of all, and here you are. You're a teacher by trade, by profession, and with this launch of this, coloring book and your first book too, Jennifer, what was it that you were noticing in the kids you taught that sort of prompted you to develop the first book and now the second book? So what was it that sort of prompted you to, that you saw in the kids you were teaching that said, you know what, this is really important. This look at mindfulness, this look at, being breath work and also engaging with others is really, really important. What was it that showed up in your work that sort of prompted this?
Yeah, so I've been teaching for close to 20 years now, and have been in the wellness industry as well. So I've taught children of all ages, and the trend is there no matter how old children are. And what I've noticed, and quite alarmingly, actually, stress has always been there, but it seems to be escalating over the years. It has been, and now more than ever, I think we see that on a grand global scale. I think it's touching many people on a much deeper level. And having said that, I realize that there's so much need for education when it comes to empowering children and educators and mentors and parents with these strategies that can be so simple if we know how to apply them appropriately, so that we can just feel better, live our most resilient and happy life. So I saw there was a need and had those skills because I've been using them in my life for many, many years and seeing the benefits. And I started small with breath work. And that's why I always go back to that as the foundation, the powerful healing breath. And ultimately, it didn't take long to see the power it had in terms of building community. Children would learn these simple skills, and then they would teach their friends and their family and come back and say, hey, I feel better. My brother feels better. My mom feels better. And before you knew it, there's this community in the classroom. There's this community in the school environment, for example, that I noticed that it was more peaceful, more calm. Children that would normally be anxious for whatever reason, they would have this normal anxiety, would calm down. And when they started incorporating this on a regular basis, and it was just in a very short period of time, very powerful stuff. So it was a real privilege to be able to create a book, because when you have a book, as you know, because you're a published author as well, it gets out into the world on such a bigger level rather than a contained space per se. So yeah. I was really, really honored to be able to do that.
Yeah. So did you actually then teach your kids mindfulness? Did you take little timeouts and teach mindfulness, breath work, a little bit of meditation?
Absolutely. I actually have a special program that I incorporated over the years, where there's a whole system in play where I integrate various mindfulness modalities into a whole lesson. And so children, and through fun and play is part of that mindfulness practice, as you can see, color.
Yeah.
And by engaging children with multi-intelligence approaches and mindfulness aspects, it just gives them an opportunity to deepen their level of understanding of themselves, knowing themselves, their intuitive nature, and then they're more resilient, they're happier beings, and that comes out into community. So absolutely, been doing it for a while and perfecting it, and it's a whole system. Yeah.
And it also comes out in class too. I mean, they've done studies, or there's a group in Baltimore, inner city group at what's deemed high risk schools, and they teach yoga and breath work and meditation to young kids. And they've noticed that bullying's gone down, that there are improved grades as a result, and there's a better sense of cohesion among the kids. Do you notice that too in your work and your teachings and your findings as well, Jennifer?
That's such a great observation and study that you brought up. And again, that's testimony to the power of mindfulness. So a lot of people think mindfulness might be just simply sitting there and meditating, and it's so much more than that. It's integrating mindfulness into action when we see the most powerful effect. And that's one of my missions, which is the Global Green Action Project that I initiated last year, which is part of bringing mindfulness into action, helping helping global community through animal, environmental, and humanitarian initiatives in the most mindful, powerful of ways. So yes, coming back to the classroom, I've seen that again with all ages very quickly. And you start integrating these pieces of the puzzle into play into your classroom, you have a beautiful, more rich environment for children to thrive. And don't we all want our children to live their most resilient and happy life?
Yes. But you also, in our talk before today, you mentioned that when you practice mindfulness, which is really just slowing down. I mean, we've all been human doings for so long, right? And now it's like what you're doing is you're encouraging us to slow down and be human beings where we're being, slow down. And what one of your goals with the book and with your work is, and also what you said you see is when children and even adults practice mindfulness, there's more compassion and self-love, right? Is that a fact? Have you seen that?
That's a beautiful way to say it. That's exactly what happens when you build and foster compassion and love for oneself and for others. Magic happens. Magical things happen. Yeah.
But also, as in part of your other mission, which is to give back to proceeds of the sales of the book today to your animal charity, and also to the Global Green Action Project. Not only is there self-love, but there's also compassion and self-love for animals, for nature, and for others. There's a real direct correlation here, isn't there?
Absolutely. And again, it's that mindfulness in action that makes a real enduring change, and it helps benefit all life on this planet. Yeah.
Yeah. Is that what really excites you? Like you got so much passion. Jennifer and I are colleagues and friends outside of this. I'm one of her colleagues and friends. And is that the thing that drives you in terms of your work, your mission, and your purpose on the planet right now?
The biggest part of my mission is to empower people to realize that the power of one is huge. And when the power of one is aware, so when we become aware of ourselves and what we can do in the world, and we use our genius zone and we collectively work together, this is how we solve all the problems, right? This is how we heal our world in the most magical of ways. And that's through mindful action, that's through mindful communication, that's through compassion and love on a much deeper level than most people realize. And it starts with awareness, and it starts with mindfulness.
Yeah. And also, we don't see, the messages that kids are getting, either it's from their parents or maybe even a teacher or an aunt or an uncle or among themselves. So now what you're encouraging is to let those messages go, let those thoughts go, the negative thoughts, right? Mindfulness, and have then self-care, compassion, and self-love for oneself, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's exactly it.
So I want to talk about Gwendoline, the magical mindful coloring book. Who is Gwendoline? Is it you?
Well, that's a good question. Gwendoline is a representation of the best of all of us. She is the light in our souls and in our hearts. She is what we are made of, which is light, love, and compassion. And when we connect with that power within, we transform the world in the most amazing ways. That's who Gwendoline is. She signifies inclusivity. She signifies healing of animals, environment, of children and their potential in learning how to be their best selves in the world. And when I see children of all ages. You can be 100 years old and you're still a child at heart, right? So that's what Gwendoline is. Gwendoline is that part of all of us that, for many of us, is untapped and yet to be found. And that's why we need to explore mindfulness.
So let's say it's 5 years from now, you're on the cover of a business magazine or a major magazine, and it's 5 years from now with maybe your third and fourth book have come out. Who knows? What do you want the story to say about you?
I wanted to say that I helped empower the light within all so that we can all be the best versions of ourselves and work collaboratively to solve the problems of the world, because together, that's what the solution is. When we work together, we have the answers.
Yeah.
And we can do it. And there's no no. The word no doesn't exist there. It is possible. And Audrey Hepburn said it best in one of her quotes. She once said that in the word impossible actually means possible. And that's so true. It's so true. We are possible together.
Yeah. Means I am possible.
Yes. Thank you. Yes. The visual helps explain what I'm saying.
Yeah. Now, here's a biggie. So I can't wait to see what, your magazine article in 5 years, and you're on the cover with your books and happy kids around. And even happy older kids. I listen to Jazz FM a lot, and I heard the song on yesterday, I think, and it was Frank Sinatra, If You're Young at Heart, right? Fairy tales can come true. It can happen to you if you're young at heart, right? I'll go easy on the audience. But one of the key, I think, to contributors, I guess, to kids and, maybe being challenged right now, with stress and information overload is, being on their phones and social media. What would you like to see moving forward in terms of regulating that or managing that, and then having that sort of self-connection time, and then that connection time with community and with others? What would you like to see? If you had a magic wand and you were going to wave it, what would you like to see?
Definitely education outside the box. A lot of educators feel that they're confined by or restricted by certain limitations with time. There's so much demand put on educators these days, and therefore, often it's not teaching necessarily to curriculum. You want to teach to the child, right? And so I think that revolutionizing the educational system, where we have more mindfulness practices on a day-to-day, where teachers have an opportunity to do the same, right? Where parents have a deeper level of going somewhere and being educated on what that looks like for them, when everyone has a chance to take time out and just foster what they need and then bring it back to the whole. I think that a community that allows acceptance of that self-care piece will change a lot of the way we look at the world. We could have a big conversation about this, and maybe one day we will, but it's, living in the busy is not healthy. It doesn't get us anywhere. And we are in a global crisis because of it, whether people dispute that or not. I think it's undeniable when we see how much stress has affected so many people's lives, how much illness is out there as a result of it. And we need to put a stop to it. We need to reframe our mindset. And it starts with taking pause and being mindful and realizing that living in the busy is not the answer to going further in terms of a global healthy society.
Yeah. I'm not going to quote, or get all religious on people, but even in, the Bible, what do they say? The kingdom of God is within you. So we need to sort of go within, because that's where the answers are. And I know, Jennifer, and I don't know if you're feeling this too, but there's so much noise and opinions and, that we're seeing every day. If we partake in the social media and the regular media, there's so many opinions and feelings and beliefs, and everybody's, talking. And sometimes the best thing is to go within and just be silent. And I find when I meditate, the answers that I'm looking for come right to me. I don't even have to try so hard. What's your feeling there in terms of, how that practice of meditation going quiet, kids kind of like letting go of all the, you know, the phone and the being on the internet and the gaming, and maybe just having a walk in the woods, you know, with nature, and maybe just sitting under a tree. I remember as a kid, I used to go up in the tree next to my house and just kind of hang out by myself, and I'd hear like the tree frogs and see the birds, and I'd have an overall view of my neighbors too, you know. So it was just a moment for me to sort of unwind and not, you know, and disengage, but also engage with myself. So what's your take on that? That was a long-winded question.
Yeah, and to be mindful of time, because I know you have to leave soon, and Bemi was
I'm good.
to one. I'm going to sum that up very quickly. So nature connection is key. We are, again, living in that busy ultimately is caused us to be disconnected from what's important, which is ourselves. But when we realize what that really means is that we're all connected to all life on this planet. We're connected to nature. We are connected to the soil, the earth, the plants, the animals. When we harm the soil, the plants, the animals, we are harming ourselves.
Yes.
This is proof in the diseases we are facing, the toxins we are digesting, and so on. So we need to be reconnected with nature. Nature has the answers in so many beautiful, magical ways.
Yeah. Well, and I know we're going to get to more magic when Ben Miguel comes back with us. But so, what are the teachable lessons in the book? You know what? You know, I know there's fun. I know there's breath work. I know there's, you know, being kind to the environment. I know there's this, you know, move towards mindfulness and care of self, and also of things around us. So what are some of the teachable lessons in the book?
So the coloring book itself has coloring as a mindfulness practice. And of course, there's also the journal prompting aspects of it as well. So it allows children to mindfully color, and then it allows them to go deeper into themselves. And there are actual activity pages in there that allow them to connect with their powerful healing breath, take pause, and just keep them connected with their center. And then also to express themselves. So there's, for example, there's a coloring page with bubbles. I'm all about bubbles, and I was doing them earlier. I think you might have seen them. I'm going to do some more.
Yay!
There we go.
Aw, I like that. I saw the bubble page.
And bubbles is a great way to connect with the breath, right? And, you know, and this is why I wanted to share this today, is if you were to take anything away from this wonderful book launch, is that consider using bubbles as one of your lesson plans if you're an educator or parent. You can use bubbles as a way to start with mindfulness practice and teach kids to connect with their breath. And as a parent, as an adult, as a mentor, an educator, it's fun for you too, and it helps you connect. So simple tools and strategies like this can go a long way to helping remember our center and take us on a journey of then going into writing our emotions and whatever we're feeling in the moment. And that book allows us to do that. It's got a combination of journal prompts and coloring and reminders of powerful healing breath in there as well. And it's a great companion book to my other book that I've already launched that has all that, as well as a story as well. So, yeah.
And yeah, you know, we have to encourage kids to be okay with their emotions, to express it, to let it out, right? And it's all good. And then, you know, just do that breath work, have a little bit of play and fun to it as well. In terms of the book, as you launch it today, which, again, I know what it's like to write a book. It's no small feat. And then you pulled this off. And I know you've had some stress too in life. So kudos to you. But in terms of the book in schools, do you think schools will embrace it? And what would you like to see in terms of this sort of, you know, topic being part of the curriculum? Because I think it's really necessary.
Well, I think there's a lot of teachers out there that are seeing the power of mindfulness. And there are teachers that want to learn more. And again, it's that growth mindset. When we talk about social emotional learning, multiple intelligence aspects, and we're talking about growth mindset, mindfulness is a way to combine all of that and make make the lessons in a classroom actually more meaningful with actually less time. You are actually saving time as an educator when you start incorporating mindfulness into your lessons. Your students and children are thriving. So as a parent, you start incorporating this into your day-to-day with your children, your children will thrive much more. They'll have more joy, more resilience. You'll have less concerns with them feeling sad or stressed. It's a win-win. And when in a day when we're all busy, we are, I'm talking about taking pause. Mindfulness transforms families, it transforms communities, it transforms classrooms. It teaches people to just be. And there's a lot of people who want to learn how to do this. And that's why I'm creating that resource as an added tool to help people navigate so that they can get a clearer path to achieving these wonderful results with less stress along the way.
You do talk a lot about the stress that kids are feeling and experiencing, but I'm sure they're also picking it up from their parents too. I mean, this is a challenging time, not just for kids, but for adults. There's a lot of uncertainty in the air and fear and doubt and worry. How would the book then, I kind of think like the old saying, families that play together stay together, like that do things together, even whether it's having a weekly dinner, a family dinner. So how can parents sort of, manage their own stress and fears and doubts and worries and do this collectively with their kids so that they both can help each other, through these times that we're in?
Great question. And again, I'm going to, because I'm being mindful of time for Bemi and yourself, we're getting close to 1:20. And
Is she here?
She's been here a long time.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So last question.
So I just want to just remind everyone that for the book launch, if you've registered, you're able to access the free lesson plan that helps address the issue that you're talking about.
Excellent.
That lesson plan will help educators and parents to have deeper connections with their children in their lives with the coloring book. So if you registered, if we haven't dropped off the link in the chat, we will. So make sure you register today if you haven't done so yet, so you can access that free bonus offering that I'm giving to you as a gift to further support with the coloring book. On top of that, I'm also going to be offering a mini workshop valued at $100 when I normally would teach this, to further support so that you have additional value to support mindfulness, not only in your classroom, but in your families as well. So again, an additional support to this book to really ensure that families can play together and bond together as you've stated. And so I've really, in this book launch, and in this after party, I wanted to make sure that we had all those free resources. And then, so make sure you register if you haven't done so. It is in the chat. People can do that. And just to clarify, earlier you mentioned that a certain 20% of the proceeds for our book launch will actually be donated to a local animal charity to help support animal well-being. So just reminding everyone about that. It's, really appreciate all the support out there, because we're helping our children, but we're also helping animals in our world through this initiative. So great gratitude to all who are helping support this wonderful mission and this wonderful cause. And thank you to you, David, as well, for all you're doing to help with this. I have 3 prizes we haven't had a chance to.
Yeah, Tony's going to spin the wheel, but should we go to Bemi Gale now? Let's bring her in.
Let's bring her in because here we
go.
So
you're the idea person. Bemi is the artist. Hey, Bemi, how are you?
Hello.
So
I'm so excited.
Yeah. So why are you excited? What is this your first book initiative?
No. This is the second time that Jen has an live interview, and I'm so happy to see Jennifer again. It's been a long time.
Excellent. So how long have you been, doing illustrating work, and is this your first book that you've illustrated?
I've been illustrating for like 10 years now.
Oh, wow. Okay.
and
is this the first book you've done?
No, it's I don't know if I can count how many books I've
Oh, wow.
illustrated, but it's been a lot.
Okay, so you're 10 years, but you're an old pro. When you saw the book, what inspired you, to want to be involved in this? Why did you want to be involved in this book?
I I usually really like to create cartoons and characters, and Jen's book is so cute. It's so gorgeous. So every time I draw, it's like a pleasure to me.
Aw, sweet. And I guess you also like the concept of mindfulness and helping kids, realize their true selves and their true potential, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the last thing I want to come up with is, were you the one, Bemi, that had to create Gwendoline, the character? Did you create her?
No, it's Jen's idea. She showed me references of the original dragon statue, I guess, and then I just draw it.
Sweet. And what did you get? Have you read the book and have you done all the actions and things? So what did you learn from the book?
It's to remember to breathe. It's very important to relax and just to remind yourself to breathe from time to time.
Yeah, from time to. I think if we're not breathing, we're in a little bit of trouble. I'm just saying. Yeah. Thank you so much, Bemi Gale. Jennifer, do you have anything you want to add? Whoop. You just got to unmute yourself there.
Whoops, I'm talking to myself.
Yeah.
I just once again, Ben Miguel, I'm so honored to be able to work with you, and you're just amazing. To find someone who can work so well with you is a real gift, and to collaborate on such an important mission. You're such a gift to me and to the world. Thank you so much for supporting me on this.
And you too. I should congratulate you. Congratulations again and again. All success for your book. And I hope many kids will be able to read your beautiful book.
Thank you. Thank you. More mindfulness, more joy, right? Let's spread it around.
Right. So I know I've got to leave in a few minutes, but I just want to say it's been a joy being your MC today. For those that don't know me, I have a coaching training business and a podcast called Rise, and I work with entrepreneurs. And I'm also donating a prize of an hour of business coaching for those doing a side hustle. And this is a side hustle for you too, right, Jennifer? Yeah. And it's really, my wish for you is may it turn into a worldwide project.
Yes.
And just because I think it's just so necessary right now, and you're just doing beautiful work. So just continue. I don't know. I guess I'll leave, and I'll leave it with you and Tony. Am I right?
Yeah, he's our tech guy in the background, and we're gonna draw some prizes.
I know, Wheel of Fortune style, right?
It's going to be really exciting. And do you want to stick? Do you have 2 minutes or 3 minutes while we find out who wins the prize?
Yeah. I want to know. So it is Wheel of Fortune style. So Tony's Pat Sajak. We were joking before, and you're Vanna White, right?
Yeah, that's right. Sure.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, so we're going to spin that wheel.
Spin the wheel, Pat. Here we go. Oh my gosh.
Bemi's running. You see that, Bemi?
That's so cool.
In the middle, do you see she's running?
Yeah. Oh, there she is. Yeah, look at the colors. It's beautiful.
That's Gwendoline in the middle, Bemi.
Yeah.
She's in the middle here. She's running.
Oh,
who's going to win?
Oh, Mitra. Oh, I know Mitra.
Mitra!
From the Dream Circle. Yay, Mitra.
Congratulations, Mitra. You won 1 hour coaching session with the amazing David C.
Wow.
Yay! Yay,
Mitra. You know what helps? I know her. So it's like,
you know how to find her?
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
I'll poke her on Facebook.
Okay, so I was going to say leave your contact information with me so we can reach, but I suspect you already can contact her. So we will make sure to get her information nonetheless as backup. And there we go. Thank you, David, for spending your time and donating such a generous gift to our global community to help make this world a better place as well. Thank you.
It's really a joy. I want to thank you and Tony and Bemi. Great work as well. And a reminder that, proceeds of the book, 20% go to the animal charity. And it's also towards Jennifer's Global Green Action Project. And also buy today because, she'll get that boost on Amazon. And, and all these social media, it's all about, numbers and stats, right? So we that's why we're encouraging you to buy today, right?
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.
Bye,
Bye, Bemi. Thank you.
Be well. Be well.
Okay, you too. Thanks, Tony.
Bemi, are you ready to stick around for another? We have 2 more prizes to give away. You want to find out who wins?
Sure.
Yay! Super. Okay. So our next prize is actually a copy of the soft cover of the book that is launched today, and I'm going to sign it officially. So we're going to launch and see who wins that particular signed book. So ready? Off we go with the wonderful running Gwendoline. She's running. It's like an optical illusion. Oh my. I wonder who's going to win. Okay. Looks like it is Jane. Yay!
Congratulations,
Jane. There, we got to get the sparkles in for sure. Congratulations, Jane. You've just won an autographed softcover book, coloring book that has launched today for our prizes today. So congratulations. We're so happy for you. Oh, I was going to blow you some bubbles, but my bubble machine broke. Let's see if I have another one. Okay, let's see if I can do it this time. Okay, so we now have 1 more prize to go. So the next prize is actually going to be another soft cover book, the coloring book, autographed, but this one's also going to have a video. It's about 10 to 15 minutes long. It's actually an educational video, but you can actually play it to students in your classroom or to your children. And it's me actually teaching them 3 different lessons that they can use that are really, really great for mindfulness practice. It's a fun little video that they can use anytime they need to feel better. So that is our 3rd prize today that I'm offering. It's a total of 4 prizes. David's prize was the first one. So we are going to launch the wheel off, the wheel of fortune again, to see who's going to win our last prize for our after party, which again is the coloring book signed and the extra video resource as well. Ready? All right, off we go. I love Gwenny running. That's so fun.
Twirling. Gwendoline must be dizzy.
Be tired out. Oh my goodness. I believe it is. I'm so close. It is Lee. Congratulations, Lee. We're so excited. You just won an autograph coloring book with a free resource, an additional resource. Yay! So we'll make sure to, if you haven't left your information, make sure that you reach me through the DM, and we can make sure that we send this to you because we need your address as well. So we'll make sure we contact you and get that outside the video live feed. Fantastic. Congratulations, everyone. So those are the prizes. I wanted to give us a moment, if possible. There might be some questions in our community that people might have in terms of asking maybe our wonderful Bemi Gale, our amazing illustrator, some questions in terms of sort of how she got to do what she's doing in the world, helping authors like myself just do amazing work. So I just wanted to give our audience an opportunity to do some questions and answers at this time. Feel free to take a moment. We have a wonderful guest here that you might have a question that you would like to further have answered. I think there's might be maybe a question. I'm just going to check. I think we're okay. I have a question, Ben Miguel.
Okay.
I might have asked it to you a while ago, but it's always something that keeps popping up. How did you know that you wanted to do what you wanted to do? Like, how did you, yeah. What is...
It's a difficult question. It's like, ever since I remember, I just love to draw. And then after so many different jobs and different courses in college, I end up confused. What am I gonna do in my life? And then I think at age 21, the only thing that I truly, truly enjoy, that even if I'm not paid, I would be very glad to do, is to draw. So from then on, I just continue drawing and drawing.
So has drawing always been your passion, your inspiration all your life?
I believe so, yes. Drawing. To paint. Draw and paint.
So it's kind of like Gwendoline. You're following your magical path to do what you're meant to do in the world. Is that right?
Yes.
I love it. I love it. It's so mindful, isn't it? When you're able to find what you love to do.
Yes, it is magical. You almost couldn't explain the feeling. It's so magical.
So inspiring. And it comes across. That's one of the reasons I was inspired when I met you, is that you inspired me to carry on my dreams so that I could create what I've created and share it with the world. And thank you. Thank you for your gift to me.
And your beautiful imagination. Thank you.
Oh, it's awesome. I'm just so grateful. And again, it comes back to being mindful and being able to take pause and find what is meaningful to you and share it with the world in the most magical of ways. So with all that said, I just want to remind everyone that if you haven't had a chance yet to order the coloring book on Amazon, the link is in the chat. Please feel free to do so during our book launch, because it is the best time to buy. They do give us the best premium or best price to be able to provide that to global family. So you're getting great value there. And then the other thing is, again, as David mentioned, it also helps us further launch. I guess the way it works is it further launches it out into the world. So it helps promote the book further. So please consider, if this is something you'd like to purchase, please consider purchasing it now. It does definitely help support children, more children in the world. And don't forget, 20% of the total proceeds for our event will also go towards a local animal charity to help animals and their well-being as well, because that's what mindfulness is all about. And mindfulness in action is part of my mission in the Global Green Action Project that I've initiated. So thank you all for joining in on our book launch today. We're going to spend the last 2 minutes. If anyone else has any further questions and they'd love to have answered by our beautiful illustrator, we would love to be able to share that with you. So we're just going to give it a minute. And Ben Miguel, did you want to add anything? Did you want to share anything before we close today?
Wait, let me see.
Okay. Mischievous look on your face.
I just want to congratulate you for this great big milestone that you've achieved, publishing a coloring book. And I'm so blessed to have worked with you. and you're very easy to work with, and Gwendoline is such a beautiful character, and the story is so magical.
Thank you. Thank you. And as I said earlier, I'm just really honored to be able to work with you. The feeling is the same. Just so blessed, so blessed. Thank you for doing what you do and for being part of my magical world. We're going to see if there's any questions, but I think we're okay. And I have a note that says, was there any question that somebody might have a question? Are we okay? All right. I think we're good. I think we're good. So thank you all for joining in on our after party where we got to win some prizes, get to meet some amazing guests, share in some mindful moments, and also just have an opportunity to get some great resources. And remember, if you joined and signed up for the launch, you will have access to those free bonuses. So it is in the chat box. If you haven't done so yet, please make sure to register because there's a lot of free bonuses that you don't want to miss. And it's my honor to serve and help support so that children can have their most resilient and happy life.
Give away all your gifts.
Thank you so much. We so appreciate all of you, and we wish you well. We wish you joy. We wish you abundant happiness and mindfulness. Bye for now.